To make the belt, grab some 2-inch webbing and cut it to your waist measurement, leaving extra for adjustment after the buckle is added. Fold it in half to make a center mark. The fabric pencil isn't working. I'll use a pen. Cut a piece of EVA foam 1 7/8 inches wide and long enough to reach from one hip around the back to the other hip. Cut a fabric piece large enough to cover the foam when it's folded over the edges. Start at one end of the foam, fold the fabric over, and sew near the edge. Repeat on all edges. Then trim the excess fabric. This piece will add stability to the belt. Next, using the 1-inch webbing, cut 2 5-inch pieces and 2 3-inch pieces. Using the female ends of a side release buckle, loop the 3-inch straps and sew them in. A ladder lock and a female side release buckle end are attached to each 5-inch strap. These are attached to the belt with the ladder lock pointed down and the buckles facing up. The 2 middle pieces will be attached evenly from the center and line up with the elastic on the bottom of the upper section that we already made. The 2 outer pieces are positioned at the hip directly above the center of your leg. Stitch all the pieces securely to one side. This will be the outside of the belt. On the inside of the belt, center the foam piece and sew it to the belt along the edge. I sew it in the same seam that the fabric was sewed to the foam. We need one more piece of webbing. It needs to be long enough to extend past the hips, but short enough to allow for belt adjustment. Center it on the outside of the belt and place 1.5 inch marks from the center outward. Sew it at those marks and finish the ends with a zigzag stitch. By now, making the sternum strap should be child's play. We will use 3/4 inch webbing. You'll need 2 3-inch pieces, 1 10-inch piece, 1 14-inch piece, and 2 pieces of 3/4 inch Velcro 2 inches long. Make sure you're using the sew-on Velcro and not the stick-on. The gooey adhesive of the stick-on kind really messes up sewing machines. Place marks at 4.5 and 5.5 inches from one end of the long straps. One half of the Velcro piece will be sewn onto the ends of the long straps, and the other half is sewn to the ends of the short straps. The other end of the short straps is sewn at the marks on the long straps. Sew the Velcro on the long straps. Then sew the short ones. With the Velcro on the long straps facing down, take the Velcro-free end of the short straps and place them on the marks on the long straps. With the Velcro facing down, then sew. You want to end up with them making a loop that fits around the shoulder pads. Now you will need a 3/4 inch side release buckle. If you are using a dual adjust buckle, just slip it on. But if you need to sew on one end like I have with this cool whistle buckle, then the sew end will go on the shorter strap. I have plenty of strap to adjust the length where it needs to be. I can cut the extra off or fold it back and then sew.